Hello, welcome to a little walk that I'm going to take you on today. I'm having a little test day today, little equipment test, so hopefully it's a slight breeze, but you shouldn't be able to hear too much of it, all being well. I'm going to be doing a 5-mile walk. It's going to be a circular route. No doubt I've put a map up on screen because I'm considerate like that. There's one section where the footpath doesn't actually cross from one to the other, which I'll highlight on the map. There is an aircraft above me. I do live near an aerodrome, so you'll have to forgive the noise. You know, I did ask everybody to stop what they were doing whilst I was filming, but you know, they said no. Usually a lot of bunny rabbits over here, but they are quick on their toes and they've all gone. But all across here, if you come out of an evening, I might do that one evening with a camera set up for a while and a little hide, just to see them chilling out in the last rays of sunshine. Alright, so if you're doing this walk, you can see this path comes down here and does go round, but we're going that way. This tree has been down for quite some time, so you need to get your limbo on. Didn't hear me groan once, did you? I'll stand in the wood in a second, the woodlands in a second, just to see if we can pick up the sound of the birds. Hopefully you can hear them. Yeah, a few weeks time this is going to be awash with new growth. It's going to be amazing. So what I might do is bring you out in a few weeks time and do it all again. No promises, mind you. Let's just see how it goes. Limbo. Unfortunately, I think my heavy-footedness scared the birds away. I'll try again in a minute. The landowner here has planted some young saplings that's going to make like an avenue. It's good to see that people are sticking to the path. And he does maintain it. I think he's just let it go to brush over the winter, but he seems to be looking after these trees quite well. I think he's thinking of decades into the future rather than trying to get quick wins and planted big trees that may not survive. He's putting the saplings in to allow them to root properly. Should be a good avenue of strong trees. Black walnut, fast growing, deciduous, spreading tree with large aromatic leaves. I think on the Ordnance Survey maps there's a path that goes into the field to our left, just up here, but they normally have sheep in there, so I stay this side. Gonna end up in the same place anyway. You're better off not worrying the sheep. Am I right or am I right? I'm right. Of course I'm right. Bull in the field. Only there's not a bull in the field. So instead of going left and then down, we're just going to go down. Okay, so we are coming up to the sheep, but I like to give them forewarning that I'm here. I don't want to spook them. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can hear them, but there's a couple of youngsters right here. Right about there, I think. Sheep, 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 sheep. Just to let them know I'm here and just approach really calmly. Don't want to freak any of them out. Sheep, sheep, sheep. What a lovely little scene. I could just hear the sheep grazing. Fantastique. Oh, mums are coming over to see what the heck's going on. Hey sheepies. Hey sheepies. How are we doing? Inquisitive bunch, aren't you? But if you're doing this walk, you come out of here and you take a right. It's only 50 yards or so, but it looks like you're going to be walking into, in fact I'll show you, because it looks like you're going to be going into private land, and indeed you are, but there is a public right of way. It's next to the white fence there. I did want to show you these stones on the left hand side here, out there. I believe these are called mountain blocks or mountain steps. They used to be higher, I believe, and it was for carriages, so that when you were mounting, or they might be called carriage steps, I'm not sure, but you could alight from your carriage in a comfortable manner. Just follow that hedgerow along, cross over a little stream, follow the hedgerow all the way to the end, and it goes over another little stile and pops out onto the road here. You keep following until a house on the left, which has been recently done up. I was speaking to the owner last year or the year before. I think he moved down from London. I'm not sure if you can see the amount of birds circling right up there. Troublesome weather on its way. So yes, the guy that did this house up just wanted somewhere quieter to live, wanted a project, and he has done an amazing job. I probably won't film it because it's not very nice, somebody just filming your house, is it? So this is where path doesn't meet. As it turns out, the gentleman that owns that house was there, and I could have a nice little catch up with him. So he's just doing some work on his property to make the roof green. Said he's not sure why he's putting a green roof. He's got plenty of it, plenty of green around him. I'm guessing he's just doing it to fit in with the countryside. There is a little hole in the, looks like a gateway or just a normal entrance there. But you want to be heading towards that, then veer off to the right where you would expect to see a ditch. It can get a bit stodgy underfoot, but follow that up. I'll show you now. So from this point of view, there doesn't look like there's a trail there. That's why I wanted to point it out back there. You need to trust that this is going to appear. That's where you want to be walking. We're going up there. When you get to the end of this track, you're treated to this lovely woodlands where the bluebells aren't really out at the moment. A couple of weeks' time, there's going to be absolutely awash with colour here. There's all sorts going on. And hidden behind this tree, you can see footpath goes off. It's fairly evident where you need to walk. And the bluebells are just coming out. Look at those. They're going to be amazing. Awesome. Well, I think it's awesome anyway. Oof. Now, I've mentioned oak trees before and how they're struggling. A good example of what's going on here. I'm not sure whether you can see that, but that is rotted all the way. It looks like a really healthy tree. There's a termite or something that's got into it. There's another tree gone. There's a fork here. And on this particular walk, we're going to go that way. Into another sheep-filled field. Tripped over my own words then. I was going to say sheep-field. Filled and filled. This is a cool little style if you've got a doggo. Simple things please me. Okay, so we are heading, it's hard to see, but there are a couple of trees down there, and we're aiming for the tree that's almost dead centre, I think, at the moment. It's hard for me to see, the screen's very tiny, but we're heading for there. I think there's a hole in the hedge just to the right of that tree. Off we go. Trying not to disturb the lambs. I'm going to walk around because I don't want to disturb the sheep. There's no crops in this field, so I don't feel like I'm trampling on anything. So yeah, I was right. When you get to this tree, you'll see a little entrance. Talking even quieter now because I've managed to get around the field without worrying the sheep too much. That's where we came from, up there. When you get to here, it's a thicket of trees here. You're just heading to the edge of there. Sheep do tend to congregate underneath there, so I'll see how I go. I might need to walk all the way around just to avoid them. Again, it's not that I'm scared of them. Honestly, it's I just don't see the point in worrying them. I think we've got a mother there, kids over there. I'm just going to let her cross. Oh, sheep. Oh, sheep. There we go. More oaky trouble. Poor trees. Anyway, down in the corner here is your next crossing. If I stop about here, that's interesting because we're supposed to be going up through there. Let's cross over here, up through there, and it looks like we've got a lot of deadfall up there. Stay tuned. I've just crossed over this bridge and I've noticed that it's obviously been flooding here, or there has been a flood, because it's moved this entire bridge and its substantial weight off of its mountains. So it's nice and calm and quiet now. But there's obviously been trouble there at some point. But another tree has bitten the dust. Just looks like it's shattered. It's fallen over and just shattered. Look at that. Wow. That's incredible. Okay, from here, little star there, walk along, follow it all the way up. You'll cross through into some private land there, but just keep going straight. You'll see a stile goes out onto the road where we'll pick up the trail. As soon as you come out onto the road, take a left, just keep going. I was just speaking to the farmer who manages the land that we've just walked through, and he was telling me that the field where the sheep were, where I walked around the edge, that field, he's worked very hard to allow that to go nutrient neutral. And what that means is allowing the land to get back to its normal or its natural balance. And he left it to go to hay quite late in the season last year, specifically to allow the seeds to drop from all the wildflowers. So hopefully this year we're going to see a lot more wildflowers. That's why he puts the sheep in there, because he's explaining the soil loves to be churned up, and that gets the seeds that have dropped from last year to be stomped into the soil, turned over nicely. It's all a natural way of managing the land. And as I alluded to earlier regarding the avenue of trees that are being planted, the farmers seem to be managing the land not for immediate gain. They're looking at generations to come, that fills me with so much, what's the word, hope. Things are happening, they're just happening very slowly, and because you can't rush nature. As the farmer said to me just now, my time here will be spent, and he wants to spend it well. Something we could all take away with us. One thing the farmer did mention just now was that bridge that I pointed out earlier. The reason that flooded was because he's put in some leaking dams to protect Headcorn village, so the village further downstream, from flooding. I think it just goes to show that I certainly didn't give the respect the landowners are due for protecting where we live. I mean, he could have just let the waters flow, but he chose not to. So anyway, here we go. Public footpath, we've just come down here, and let's go and see how things are getting on in here. Oh, I asked about the oak trees, what his thoughts are on oak trees and how they're suffering, or my perception of them suffering. And the big oak tree that I last saw, if there's a good enough picture, I'll put a picture of it up on screen now. He was saying, yeah, we lost that. That's probably about 200 years old, that tree, but he believes that it is all part of the natural kind of way at the moment. He's not seeing anything nefarious going on with the oak trees. And what I didn't bear in mind was there was a lot of work done to, back in if you look at the history of Kent and how it got twinned with a Cinque Port, there was a call for ships to be built, which required a lot of wood. So we would have had a lot of trees being planted, and We've just not replaced them. It takes decades, millennia to replace the trees. Talking of which, a lot of new growth coming through here. This woodland has a tendency to flood, and it's quite hard to pick your way through. You can see a trail on the floor, but when this is all lush and green, it's quite hard. Wow, look at that one. Woohoo! It just looks like it's been picked up and thrown there. Oh, it snapped off the top of there. Wow. Would not have liked to been underneath that when that came down. Suspect that was Storm Eunice. So the path goes around here, snakes through here, duck underneath this bush, and you come out into a ploughed field here. Take a look slightly right, so that's straight on, and we're heading over. So evergreen bush over there, and we're walking just to the left of it. Ooh, it's quite tiring walking across ploughed fields. Okay, so when you come over, there is an entrance, looks like a natural entrance right here, but you don't want that. Just walk around the edge of the field, come to the corner, and you'll pop out on the road. Yeah, look, nice. It just goes to show you'll be treated if you come sort of March, end of March, mid to late March. In fact, mid-March to mid-April, you'll be treated to a really good flowery show, because you'll either have the daffodils or the bluebells. It's just started raining, as you can see by the spots on the ground. So I shall leave you here. Wish you a very good day. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, my little ramblings. And I've been asked, about this YouTube channel. It takes a long time to grow a channel, etc. And what can be done? The best thing you could do, share it. Share the video if you like it. And if you don't like it, maybe just let me know what you don't like. You can leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost anything. The other thing is, I was asked what I use for my mapping, and the answer is a number of things, but mainly OS Maps. I pay a yearly subscription. It's one of those subscriptions that I find is really worth the money. I think, off the top of my head, I think it's about £15 a year, even if it's £25 a year. We're talking a small coffee a month to have access to all of their premium maps, where you can map your own routes and then export those routes to wherever you like. Just export the file. But that's all the techie stuff. If you want me to go through any of that, again, leave a comment below. I doubt it'll interest many people, but I'm happy to share the knowledge. Really tame these birds down here, aren't you? Wow, look at that! I was saying goodbye, wasn't I? But how can I leave you without showing you this? Still not finished growing either. Oh, the scent's amazing. Have yourselves a good day. I'm going to stop waffling now. Take it easy. See you in the next one.